And I was muted through all of that, wasn't I? What I said was, welcome to Collecting Chaos. My name is James, and this is Wednesday Coffee with Collecting Chaos. I'm trying out a new microphone. I'm not sure how it's working. Let me know if you can hear me or if I just messed up and I need to go back to my old microphone. In the meantime, I will just continue on as if nothing happened. Tonight, I've got some toys that I picked up that I'm going to show you a little bit later. I've got some comic books that I've pressed that I'm going to show you those. People seem to enjoy that last week. And various other things. Maybe I'll invite people in, or maybe I'll put it up, the link to join us in the comments. Thank you, Jackson Roy. I appreciate that. And thank you for stopping in. I hope you enjoy the show tonight. It's, like I said, I have a few more comics that I've pressed. And I'll be showing those. And I've got, like I said, I picked up a few toys. I'm going to show them those. I think one will make people really excited because it's not the easiest one to get. So it ought to be fun. Let me go ahead and kick it off. Patrick, glad you could stop in and say hi. I'm going to kick it off as soon as a few more people show up. I'd probably show you something I use when I clean comics or work on comics. I'll show you that. And then later in the week, I'll try to make a video on how I use it. Just like it did last week. It was fun. Kenneth Bird. Virginia is my old stomping grounds. That's where I grew up. It was in Fairfax County. My sisters still live in Virginia, but not in Fairfax County. They moved down to the southwest Virginia. So I'm going to have a good time, I hope, tonight. And like I said, maybe I'll put up the link and invite people in from the chat if they want to come in and talk on the channel. They won't have to show them themselves. They'll have to show me that they're a real person. But once they get on the channel, they don't have to show anybody. So, yeah, I'm currently in the process of repressing that E-Man that I pressed. I mean, it was good. And I'm talking about the one that had the water damage. It was good, but there was still a few little wrinkles in it, and I wanted to get them out. And I've got the wrinkles out, but you can see where they were because apparently the ink wore off in those spots. So, but it's turning out really nice, and I'll show it again next week probably because I started it today, so it won't be ready for 3 or 4 days. Or I might show it on my next video. Like I said, I have some things to show, and we're going to go ahead and start off with these comics that I pressed. Some of them are older, like this one. This is Marines in Battle, number 18. I pressed that. It's not in the best shape in the world. It's missing a chunk here. It's got a lot of creases on it, but overall, it still turned out pretty nice. It's nice and flat. It's a pretty nice comic. It's from 1957, so early Silver Age. That one is for sale. I will let you know which ones are for sale, which ones aren't. Here's another Marines in Battle. This one's number 12. Again, a lot of creases, but nice and flat now, and tiny. And my phone's making noise. This is from 1956, and it's also going to be still up for sale. I'm still going to offer it. I have Squadron Supreme #1. This is a newsstand copy. Really turned out nice. It does have some spine creases, but it's a newsstand copy, so that's to be expected. But again, it had a couple of dents that aren't there anymore, and it turned out pretty nice. And this is also one that will be up for sale. Wave of Mutilation. Glad you could stop in. This one just turned out spectacular. But then again, it was a really nice copy to begin with. It's a newsstand copy of Uncanny X-Men #135. The Dark Phoenix. This is from 1980. It's still up for sale. I'll probably show this again this weekend or this Friday on Horizon Picks channel, as will the Squadron Supreme. There's a copy of All-Star Squadron #23 in a newsstand. I already had this in a newsstand, so I figured I'd go ahead and press it. It's pretty nice. 1983. Really nice. Really flat. Much better than what it was before I started. It does have a crease, I believe. No, it doesn't. It's just the way the light caught it. But that's also one that I will be putting up for sale. Might be. I know I've got it at $50, but and if I tell you the price and you want to buy it, you can buy it tonight. You just have to let me know. This is E-Man 25. This is part of my collection. It will not be going anywhere. Turned out really nice. And E-Man 18, also a part of my collection. I'll be hanging on to this one, of course. I like the E-Man comics. I've got almost all of them. I'll start reading them pretty soon. And I have a copy of The Web #4. This is also part of my collection. This is got quite a few of them from my collection here. This is Paul. Now, this is a Christian comic, but this particular Christian comic company was published by Archie. So that's why this is going to stay in my collection, because I do collect Archie comics, and it turned out really nice. Much better than what I expected. Yeah. Here is Born Again. Same thing. It was actually printed by Archie for the Christian Comics group. And this is Born Again. Here's one you might have seen before. Richie Rich #201. It is a newsstand copy. This is the one that I cleaned. I mean, it looks so good compared to what it did, because I re-cleaned it and I pressed it a second time. The wrinkle that was here is gone. The dirt is gone. It just turns out really nice. Again, Richie Rich is one of those comics. I don't really collect them. I just accumulate them. So I'm not ready to let that go yet. I went ahead and pressed this one because I saw some dimples on it. Marvel Comics Presents #77. Barry Smith art. This one I will be offering up for sale again. And we have Weapon Marvel Comics Presents 76. Yes, it was. Some of them got kind of pricey, and I decided I wasn't going to collect it. There's an American flag. This is not, or was it? This might, is this one of the ones I got from him? No, this is not one of the ones I got from Patrick, because I needed to press this one. The ones Patrick sent me were gorgeous. Yes, that was Barry Windsor Smith. I went ahead and pressed this one. I thought it deserved it. This is Morbius the Living Vampire number 31. It is not part of my collection. It will be returning for sale. Turned out really nice. American flag number 12. This is one of the ones that Patrick sent me. Just here browsing. Glad you could stop in. And of course, this is going in my collection. This is a comic I repaired a long time ago. I recently cleaned it a little bit and I pressed it. It has a lot of repairs on it. I will be offering it up for sale, but not for a whole lot of money. And that is Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Now, what I did to it is I used archival tape on the inside to seal this tear right here and also the spine, and reattach the cover to the comic. It was in really bad shape, but it turned out reasonably nice considering the condition it's in. This is one of the earlier ones I repaired. I'm tempted to take it apart and take the repairs off because I used archival tape. I can do that and redo it using the rice paper. This one, I think I'm going to keep it because I'm a huge Red Sonja fan. And it had a really dark brown stain here. I got it to fade. I couldn't get it to go away completely, but I did get it to fade pretty nicely. I think I'm going to hang on to this one. Like I said, I'm a big Red Sonja fan. And you don't see John Byrne doing Red Sonja very often, and that's who did this cover. Here's one that's part of my collection. Spooky. This is number 157. I believe this is early Bronze Age. Yeah, this is about mid Bronze Age, maybe late 70s. It might be earlier than that. It might be around 76 because it doesn't have a barcode on it. But it's in nice shape, and the press turned out decent. I've shown this one before, but it had some dents and some bends in it. Not anymore. It doesn't have them anymore. This is Avengers number 264, the new Yellow Jacket. And I said, it turned out really nice. No more bends, no more dents. This one will stay up for sale. I just don't collect Avengers. And the last one is part of my collection. I took this out this morning. Top Secret Adventures #3, featuring Spyman. And this one is going to stay in my collection. Now, this little insert they did here, that was in the original Spyman, and I have a copy of that somewhere. But that insert was done by Neil Adams, and it's his very first comic book work. Now, this is a reprint, obviously, added to the cover, but the original drawing of the hand like that was by Neil Adams, and it was in an early copy of Spyman from the 50s. And that's staying in my collection, obviously. So that's what I did as far as the radar. Nice to see you stopping in. But that's what I pressed this past week. I do 3 comics a day, sometimes 4. Depends on when I get up in the morning. Generally, it's 3 a day, and that's why there's only like 20, 21 comics. So let's move on to the toys. I'll show you the toys I picked up this week. I got this one, Monster Trucks. This is Hot Wheels. I'll probably be offering this on the Black Friday sale that on Horizon Picks channel. The link for that is in the description below, or should be anyway. And the same thing with this one. Oh, not much. I have over 20,000 comic books, and maybe 100 of them are pressed, maybe 200, and that's it. I don't send them into CGC. I don't send them off to get graded. I'm very confident in my own abilities to grade things. I just like the comics to look nice, which is why I press them. And this is the last of the Hot Wheels monster trucks that I picked up. I got one more toy here. Now, like I said, I'll probably offer these on the Black Friday sale. This one came today, and I figured I should share it. Chances are I'm not going to be selling it, but I thought I'd show it anyway. This is the new Barbie Poison Ivy, the one that they're asking like $100 for on eBay already, and it's just now been released. I'll probably be hanging on to this. I don't know. I might offer it up for sale. If I don't get the Harley Quinn to go with it, I'll probably sell this one. But it won't be cheap. I can guarantee that. I have the original box for it, the original shipping box for it, and it'll be going back in there today. So that's those are my pickups for the week. I don't have a whole lot that I picked up, but some neat stuff. Anybody has any questions on what I'm going to work on next? Actually, I have one. I have a question. I have this Atlas Black Rider comic. Looks in a lot better shape than it is. And it's got some pieces that are falling off. And it's got some spine issues, which I'll show you. As you can see, the spine is splitting, and it's becoming very rapidly deteriorating. But the inside of the book looks fabulous, looks incredible. Should I do repairs on it? Should I conserve it? Should I strengthen the spine and make it last longer? And what do you think? And then, of course, clean and press and all the other things I need to do. And more importantly, should I show how I do it? Yes. I mean, I still have comics that I'm working on. Mr. Yu, nice to see you. I still have comics that I'm working on. I've got that Superman number 19, I think it is, that I'm working on. But I'm having trouble because what I'm doing is I'm printing new pieces to the pages where it's missing, and I'm having trouble getting it to do just right. I'm doing them in black and white first, and then because color ink is expensive, and then once I'm satisfied with the way it's turning out, I'll print it out in color. So that's what I'm doing with that. Should be interesting. I need to finish that because I want to get that back in my collection. It's sitting off to the side. Been sitting there since before the place was flooded. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and post a link here if anybody would like to join me on screen. They can, and we can talk a bit. Yeah. Black Rider is not the most common book, and I'm really tempted to put it back in my collection once I've cleaned it up and pressed it, or whatever I'm going to do to it. I will be using the rice paper to do that. I won't use the other stuff. Actually, if you get the right boards, they're fully impregnated with the acid-free materials. Is as far as what I do it for, I don't do it from the ones in my collection. I do it for the ones that aren't in my collection, so you can see the back and the front of the comic. And that's really the only reason for it. Now, as I don't bother taking it out of the center and then reinserting it in the bag once I send it out. I send it the way it is. But it's not really. If they were backing boards like this, I wouldn't do it. But the ones I use are coated on both sides generally, or they're fully impregnated. Most of the boards you get are fully impregnated. Everybody says, put the shiny side towards the comic, but actually the shiny side will stick to the comic. If you get a little dampness in there, that shiny side will stick to the comic. The flat side will not. So, but that's what it is. And the backing board is for support. It's not really for anything else. It has no archival purpose whatsoever. It's better. I have two types of Mylar here. This is 2 mil. This is 4 mil. If you put a comic in 4 mil Mylar, that comic's not going to go. It's not going to flop around. If you put it in the 2 mil, it'll flop around. So yeah, that's all it is. It's really just for a display so that you can see the front and back. And it's a whole lot cheaper than buying acrylic backing boards, I tell you. You get like 10 acrylic backing boards for $20, so or more. So yeah, I've noticed that. I noticed that on some comics that I had seen boards for a long time, and some of them the back of the comic stuck to the backing board was always with the shiny side towards the comic, never when the flat side was towards the comic. But for short term, it doesn't really matter which way you do it, as long as you don't get them wet or in a high humidity area. I don't recommend it. What I prefer to do actually is backing board in the center with a comic on each side. That means there's a staple on the left and a staple on the right, and it sits flat. And you can actually put more comics in a box that way than you can if they're single boarded. But like I said, as far as our channel goes, that's the only reason, is to show a wraparound cover so you can see the whole cover, so you see front and back. Other than that, it makes no difference. And if you'll notice, like this has a front cover and a back cover. It has artwork on both, but I just put the backing board in there because that's one that's, it doesn't matter. I don't know why. I can't see how the shiny side. Now, yeah, I can understand the shiny side originally, because originally they would spray it onto the cardboard, and it would be the shiny side that would have the acid free, would be the acid free side. But with the newer boards, they're fully impregnated, so it doesn't matter if it's shiny or dull. It doesn't make any difference, in my opinion. Any other questions? I don't know if you saw this or not, Mr. Yu, so I'll show it again just so you can go, oh, I just got this today. And actually, they sent it FedEx. And the real surprise is that rather than it being thrown on the front porch like they usually do, it was sitting on one of the chairs on the front porch. And it looks like it had been placed there rather than just tossed there. So either they got a new FedEx driver or he got enough complaints he stopped doing that. And my coffee. It is coffee with Kollecting Kaos, after all. So the next tool I'm going to show you. Yeah, the Harley's on order, but I don't know if it'll be sent or not. The next tool I'm going to show you is this liquid here. It's water. It's distilled water. Ionized or distilled water is the way to go. Don't use tap water for what I'm going to show you. And I'm not going to show it tonight, but I will do a video on how I use this. I have a lot of uses for it, but one in particular that this is perfect for, and I'll be showing that on my next short video that I do. I was going to show you about this, which is an X-Acto knife, and how I use the blade when I'm cleaning comics, but I couldn't find a comic that needed me to use that, so I decided not to do that. Apple, happy to see you. Glad you could stop in. She's holding up dollars. It doesn't do any good. if the Harley Quinn is sent to me, I'm not selling that. If I don't get the Harley Quinn, I'll probably sell that. But it ain't, like I said, it's not going to be cheap. Thank you. I got my Cher doll down there. I got my butterfly Barbie there. I got Superman up here, and the Vampirille I painted, and some other figures, a couple of Wonder Womans, Elektra, and some other stuff. And comics. I got all those comics back there that I really want to sell. I've got at least 5 long boxes of comics to sell. Yeah, I need to get rid of those. I have more here. You know, I got this, and this, and this, and copper DC is not that hard to get rid of. I need a few. I don't know what I need, but I need a few of them. That's what I collect. I collect DC comics. And that's primarily what I collect. I have, let's see, 30 some short boxes of DC comics. At least, probably more. No, that's not right. I've got more than that. Let's see. Oh, no, I've got almost 60 short boxes of DC comics. Yeah, I'll be showing them pretty soon. And I've got a couple of Barbies I'm going to show too. I've got actually right there. It's a mermaid Barbie, and the tail lights up. Mattel did some weird stuff with Barbie, I'll tell you. I got to find the batteries for it though. I'll take a look for it. I've got a couple of the Virginian comics. I collect Gold Key too, Dell Gold Key. Actually, it's more of a, I more accumulate those than I do. It's like Archie. I accumulate Archie. I accumulate Dell. I accumulate Gold Key. And by accumulate, I mean, and Harvey. I accumulate Harvey too. By accumulate, I mean, when I get them, I tend to keep them rather than passing them on. Same thing with Classics Illustrated. I tend to keep them when I get them. And those, I need to find the box with all my Classics Illustrated in it so I can start pressing those. I want to press them all, clean them all, get them all done right, and never send them off to anybody to grade. Because that's the way I am. You should be getting your box pretty soon from me, Mr. U, that has those older comics in them. Because I sent them off last Thursday, so they should be, if they haven't arrived yet, they should be there tomorrow. I could check real quick, but I'm not going to. Yes, I am. I'm going to check real quick and see if they arrived. Let's see. Nope, it's still in transit. See what the post office says about that. In transit, arriving late. Yeah, it has those two comics that I pressed for you in there. Oh, and I'm not going to be able to include Skittles with my orders anymore because I have one pack of Skittles left and it's already going to a certain person. So in the future, what I'll be giving out is these. But, you know, I know nobody likes them, so I don't know what you're going to do with them, but that's what I'm going to send people from now on. Roy, you're late. You missed all the comics. There is a link somewhere. I have to find it. If anybody wants to join. Ah, yeah, I had my dinner already, or at least part of it. There it is. I can't pin that from StreamYard, and I don't have it up on my I don't have it up on my other computer. I did get my other monitor. It is hooked up. It's a nice curved monitor. It's so small compared to that 50-inch I was using for 3 or 4 days. It's taking me a while. It's funny. I put that 50-inch monitor up, or TV up to use as a temporary monitor. I thought, oh, this is so big. How am I ever going to get used to it? And when I pulled it down and put up this other one, which is 27 inches, which is a good sized monitor, I'm looking at it going, it's so small. But it's a curved monitor, so not only can I do work on it, I can also watch movies on it, and they look really great being curved. It's actually a gaming monitor, so haven't played any games on it yet, though. I'm very tempted to get a second one and replace the monitor I'm looking at right now. Yeah. Yeah. Monitor size, it takes a little bit. But it's funny because I have different sized monitors. I have a different sized monitor in the other room with my laptop. The laptop built-in monitor doesn't work anymore, so I have it plugged into an external. And it's a smaller one than this, but I have no trouble adjusting to that. Oh, there was a time when I was using 3 or 4 computers at one time. I had monitor, and a monitor up here. But I'm down to 2. I only use 2 at a time now. work on the center one, do research on the one that was to the right of me, and the one on the top would just be noise. I would have a YouTube on it or something. Yeah, I had a Philips TV that I used for. It finally died in 2019, I think, and I got it in 2000 or 2001. No, wait. Yeah, I bought it. I bought it the year before I moved to Texas. So I used it for 19 or 20 years. I used it, not 19, but 20 years. Best color I ever had on any monitor or anything, and it was a TV. So there you go. Philips always has the best color, but the Philips monitors are way out of overpriced. I can't afford them. Yeah, yeah. If you watch a lot of movies or stuff like that, then a TV monitor is fine. But this one is pretty good. It's nice color, nice graphics, and you can adjust it to different settings for what you want to do. Yeah, like I said, Philips TV is great. Uh, and I had a Philips monitor for a while too, and it was one of the square ones. Oh my god, the color on that was just incredible. I still have it, but it doesn't work. Uh, yeah, that's what I have right now is an Acer. That's what I bought is one of their Acer curved. I don't remember exactly which model it is. I got the box around here somewhere. I'm saving the box because it's just the right size for that big horse that I've got. So I can list that horse on eBay now that I have something to ship it in. I don't have a problem with Acer. I've never had a problem with Acer monitors. Uh, I've got a couple of them. Or I've had a couple of them on different computers. I think that's what's in the other room attached to my laptop is an Acer. Yeah, you could do that. Get one mounted to the wall, which I can't do because I have a window right in front of me. The window used to be to my back, but when they replaced the window and I had to move everything out of the office, I said, time to make a change. So I did, and I'm happy with it. I like this setup a whole lot better. Plus, I can actually use the door to the outside if I need to, which is good for going out and checking the mail and bringing stuff in and stuff like that. Yeah, and yeah, I use my phone for really strange things. I call people on it, text people on it. The only other thing I do on it is, well, unless my internet goes down, in which case I'll have to use it for that. But the only other thing I use it for is like Cash App. Once in a while, I'll use it to take pictures for Instagram. I've used it to take videos for the pressing video I did, Pressing Matters. And which I'm going to explain that title real quick. The reason I use Pressing Matters is because it does. if you want your comics to look their best, pressing matters. This comic really didn't look that good, and I wasn't too sure if I even wanted to press it. But now, wow, it just pops now. It looks almost new. Obviously, it isn't, but I think that's like from 1965. So yeah, that's what I used as my phone to take those videos, and I'll use it for a few other things. The phone takes really good pictures. I can't argue with that. You turn it sideways, you turn it like this, and it takes really good video. Or actually like this, because you want the camera up. I don't have a big phone. I'd like to get another tablet. My tablet was, yeah, the screen cracked on it. And it died a horrible death. But I only paid like $38 for it, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to check and see if Walmart going to put some on sale for the Black Friday sale. Maybe I'll pick one up. Yeah, who knew back? Let me tell you something. When I was in my early 20s, before I joined the Army, if someone had told me that I was going to carry a phone, a camera, a calculator, and be connected all around the world, and I was going to carry that in my pocket, I would have called him a liar, because there's no way. We didn't have any kind of technology like that. Heck, the calculators were, the pocket calculators were like this and like that. And they cost about $140 at the time, which was expensive. And they were good calculators. They did addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. What more did you need? Of course, that was the early 70s, so, or mid 70s, I should say. I turned 20 in 1974. So yeah, it was mid 20s or mid 70s. And a video camera, yeah. And not just a camera, but a camera and a video camera. Yeah. And more computer power or computing power than the mainframe computers of the time. Yeah, this phone probably has more power in it as far as computing power than some of the mainframe computers of the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And that's pretty wild. Any more questions? Yeah. That's true. And streaming was unheard of back then. I mean, because there was no internet back then. I mean, there were bulletin boards, kind of, but you had to have, you pretty much had to have a teletype machine to use them. Even back in the 80s, bulletin boards were the way to go. I mean, I remember posting on bulletin boards, uh, D&D stuff on bulletin boards. Now, it's instantaneous. You think of something, you put it out there. The guy I know that does, he's like a handyman. He's talking into his watch because it's hooked up to his phone. And I looked at him and I thought, damn, Dick Tracy. Back in the, how you doing, Michael? Dick Tracy back in the 30s and 40s had a wrist wristwatch radio. It's real. It's happened. Yeah, D&D is cool. I played D&D for many, many years. I started playing Dungeons Dragons 1976, and I stopped playing in 2001. And I was dungeon master for most of that time. I got to play once in a while, but most of the time I was dungeon master. So I had to create stuff. Yep, Maxwell Smart and his shoe phone. I'd like to start playing again, but I'm not playing the new D&D they have. I'll play the original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. And the answers you get on Reddit are rarely right. I make comments on Reddit once in a while. Yeah, Villains and Vigilantes. I've played that. I still have my copy of Boot Hill, first edition Boot Hill, and some of the modules as well. I still have Conan the Barbarian TSR put out. Such a bad game. Oh God, that was horrible. Mercenary Spies and Private Eyes. I've got that. Tunnels and Trolls. I have a copy of Wabbit Wampage, but I don't have the instructions. I have no idea what happened to the instructions on it. That was a great game. Wabbit Wampage. Yeah, the rabbits get guns and go after the farmer. Absolutely. Yeah, I have the Marvel superheroes game. I have 2 or 3 different versions of the DC superheroes game. Gee, imagine that. Why would I have that? Yeah. The nice part about Boot Hill was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons had a section to help you bring Boot Hill into AD&D. The original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons did, which is one of the reasons why I would prefer to play that. Gamma World too, also. I still have my copy of Gamma World somewhere. It's in that room somewhere. Yeah. And they were lead back then. I mean, in the 80s, they were still making figures out of lead. I think it was the late 80s that they started switching over to pewter. I've got the Draco Dracorum, the great big dragon, and the one I have is lead. Weighs about 5 pounds and fell apart because there wasn't enough super glue in the world to hold it together. Someday I'm going to fix it and repaint it. Actually, I've been saying that for 20 years, so probably never will. Call of Cthulhu, I was never really a big fan of that game. I didn't like the way it played. I mean, every role-playing game basically plays the same for the player, not for the person running the game. The person running the game is the one that has to know all the rules. Paint the dragon cake. I have to fix it first. It's going to require patience, drills, pins, and a lot of epoxy. I actually have some lead figures. I have a couple of bags full of them somewhere. But I have miniatures going back to the 70s. So. Yeah, safely painted. Actually, once it's all put back together, and I'll wear gloves when I work on it, and I'll wear a mask when I work on it because it is lead, and I will be doing some drilling on it. But once I get it put back together and primer it, it'll be safe to handle. Yeah, I had to put on a long sleeve shirt again. It's getting cold here. It hasn't been above 70 degrees all day long. It's killing me. Yeah, I have all kinds of stuff. Somewhere I have my original Dungeons and Dragons. The one with Barsoom in it. Yeah, they got sued for that. The Dungeons and Dragons first edition came out in a brown box. I don't have the box anymore. I wish I did, but I still have the book somewhere. Yeah. Well, I think that's about all I have. Unless somebody else has some questions, I may call it a night. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I have. At one time, I had about 4 or 5 notebooks full of designs and dungeons and characters and just all kinds of stuff. Well, I'm going to be here every Wednesday night from now on, and the more people that join, the better. I don't know if I'm going to be at the 8:30 time slot next Wednesday, or if I'm going to be a little earlier. I'm going to get with Roy on that because we may want to coordinate something. So everybody, have yourself a great week, and don't forget to be at Roy's sale tonight or Friday night, and check out our Black Friday sale on his channel. The link in the description down below. And yeah, everybody take care. Have yourself a great day and a great evening. And I'll leave you with this thought. Take care, everybody. See you.